Hello everybody, Thorgal here, and welcome back to another episode of Unbound. Before we get started with a bunch of magic, today I wanted to point out that I did update the mod pack. Because Journey Map was causing too many problems. It didn't generate the map when I was exploring. I spent a lot of time, at least 3 hours, the last 2 days out looking for aquamarine and also for the rock crystals from Astro Sorcery, because I needed a lot more and so on to continue with our progress there. And then that was kind of the last straw that, like right now you guys see we have a new mini map called Map Writer. Like I explored 4 miles over here, right? And Journey Map didn't record anything. And then the other bug is that every time you went from outdoors indoors, the mini map changed to cave mode and didn't change back. You couldn't disable waypoints. It showed all waypoints in all dimensions. There's just so many things wrong. And the other thing was also that servers crashed when you had Journey Map running on there. So I said, you know what? It's just a mini map. It's not worth the headache. And then I said, I'm gonna just do that. And I also installed OpenBlocks. OpenBlocks is back, which caused me to remove gravestones, elevators, and I forgot what the third one was. Something else that we have... Oh, gliders, yes. Because we have all these things now from OpenBlocks again. There's the OpenBlocks glider. It doesn't have durability. It's a little cheaper to make. And you know what? Let's go ahead and sleep. I also made a sleeping bag because we have that from OpenBlocks. And I also made the sleep charm. I wanted to show you guys what happens when I do that. Because it's really cool. Instantly. Because I'm the only person in this world. I instantly slept and made a day. So that's really cool, right? You don't need to waste time waiting for your eyes to close and all that other gobbledygook. So that's nice. And you guys see, I'm getting ready to do... Okay, let's just get all of this and I'll cook this up in a minute. Before we get going with the magic, there was something I wanted to I guess I could have finished it first, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to set up a little bit of a different tree farm with this Bonsai mod. And I really fell in love with this mod. It's absolutely awesome. And let's just make 10 hoppers. And then we can combine these two, I think, like this. Yes, so make hopping bonsai pot, just like that. And let me put away this other gobbledygook here. There. So, the bonsai tree, it grows trees, or it produces you wood very slowly, but without any kind of power usage. And it's also very server friendly. Ooh, I got the flickering trees. I'll restart in a minute. Sorry, guys. Because when the inventory underneath these bonsai hopper thing is full, it just stops. It doesn't spill anything into the world, and these things will automatically push out into an inventory underneath them, right? And I haven't tested this yet. I wanted to test what trees work. Some of them I know. And I totally forgot these wooden crates here from Buildcraft. I just wanted something that doesn't connect. And it has a decent size inventory. That's 1 extra row to a vanilla chest. And that is good enough for us right now. So we're gonna go ahead and I have only... Okay, let's just do 3 at a time. Then all you do is just right-click this bonsai thing itself. And you guys see it takes a sapling and it starts growing these miniature trees. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I'm pretty sure all of these work because I've tested these. Jungle. Okay. Dark oak even works, even though, you know, this is actually a 2x2 tree. It still works, and I know the mandrill works, which we're gonna need a lot of throughout this series to play with the integrated dynamics. Okay, I also know this one works. Because the first one grew here. This is full size. And then you guys are going to see in a second here, it's just going to chop it down. It just disappears. There's always a short wait before that happens. I'm not sure why. Today? Hello? Does this not count as an inventory? Is that why it's not chopping it? No way. I made these crates for nothing? Alright, so I decided I'm just going to go ahead and alternate oak and spruce here, and that should work so they don't connect. And so we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then go backwards with these. Oops, and you guys see all these trees instantly were chopped down. because it has an inventory underneath it. So that's the cool thing about these, right? When the inventory is full, they stop. So we got 1 spruce wood from this one, oak and an apple, birch, jungle, dark oak. Mandrill, we only got a stick. We got a rubber. This one we got leaves. This one we got ironwood, and I forgot this guy apparently. Okay. There you go. On this one we got 3 items. Olives, olive wood, and a stick. So this is pretty cool. I like this. You know, I don't have that big of a demand for wood right now, but just have this slow passive. So if I need something for building or crafting or whatever, it's definitely, it's a huge help, right? I really like it. Rubber, for example, this one we can put into the extractor later from IC2 to give us rubber. So I'm gonna save that. This one, let's see here real quick. Okay, just harvested. Look, check this. Free slime balls. How awesome is that? I really like it. We got some ironwood berries. What are these used for, bud? Iron berries. And we make some ironberry juice. There's some use for this later when we get into rusting. But anyway, so I'm gonna have to restart my client real quick because I want to get rid of the flickering. Now there is a way, in case you ever experience that yourself, you can turn the map levels off. Okay. A lot of people play with that off anyway because it gives you more FPS, but I don't have that problem usually, so I'm kind of I'm leaving it on because it makes it prettier in the distance, Minecraft, right? But sometimes you just get these flashing leaves, and then you just need to restart your client. But yep, let me go ahead and clean up my inventory, and then I'll meet you guys for some magic. As you guys see, I am back up in the Astro Sorcery area, and lots of platforms have been added. We made this altar the next tier last time. I forgot the name. I don't want to jump down right now. I'll look at the name in a second. And then I had to add 1 radius pretty much to this. It's a little bit of a different configuration. And I looked ahead. And the next tier altar is the same size. We're actually just going to add something on the top. So that's kind of cool. I was happy to find that out because that allowed me to add all these other platforms around it. This is a ritual platform. I made this Ritual Pedestal, whatever this is called. This is a platform right there that we're going to get started with today. This over here is a platform for a teleportation device that I set up that is super cool. I love this. This is my favorite teleportation in Minecraft. I added this one over here. This is the Astral Infusion or something. I'll show you guys how that works in a second. And I also added this giant platform over here, which is for attunement. So I prepared a lot of stuff, like I said last episode, and I moved the telescope up here because I heard that when you put it up and there's no obstructions, like if you have it down there, the pillar could obstruct you, whatever. And I made one of these, what is this mod here? Fairy lights ladder, so I can just come up here. I don't really need it because I can't, oh, the bouncy. I can reach it from down here if I want it, but I think it's kind of cool to have it. All right, so this thing right here is called the Ritual Pedestal, guys, and I didn't know any of the stuff here. So if you want to know how to build this, you just go to the actual Ritual Pedestal. This is how I crafted it, and then this is the platform, like always. Okay, I'm pretty sure that I have no reason for me to build this on camera, and it's gonna save us a lot of time. The next one that I used a lot is this thing over here, and let me just show you guys how this works with 2 different items. I have it on me. You need to build this platform here, and there needs to be source blocks of the liquid Starlight right here. You need 12 of them around, okay? So you can't just put one and let it flow. It actually needs to, each one of them needs to be a source block. And I put some chisel and bits panes on top of it so I don't step in it, because every time you step in this, you get night vision, and when night vision runs out, you start flickering and yada yada, right? And these whenever you infuse something here, so let's go ahead and infuse one thing here, actually 2. Okay, so let's do this guy and then this guy. Let's start with the glass pane. The glass pane is really cool because you save yourself the aquamarine. Usually to make these lenses, you need to have 1 aquamarine and 4 panes around it in one of these crafting altars and hit it, right? But this way you can just infuse a single glass pane, so it saves me aquamarines. And guys, you need a ton of these lenses for all kinds of things. I mean, there's just so many recipes. There's 11 recipes altogether that you need them for, and a lot of them keep repeating, right? I needed one to make this one that we're going to use in a minute. What's the other thing here that always needs some... the things on the ground. What are they called? Wait a second. We need it for those. There's another thing. Where is it at? These guys right here. The spectral relays, which we're gonna need a ton of today, okay? So this is a good saver right here. And the other thing you can do is you can put an aquamarine on top there and do it. And you guys see, it's working again. It has not used one of these source blocks. Sometimes it uses one, and it's pretty easy to identify when it happens, and then you just need to replace it. And that makes us this thing here. It's a resonating gem, okay? So this is what I use this one for so far. I have not had any other uses. And let's just check here. No, it still hasn't used. So there's only a chance that it will use up one of these source blocks, and then you just, you know, break the pane, fill it, and then I place it down again so I don't fall in. That's all. All right. And this over here is the, what is it called? Attunement Altar. And we'll get to this in a second. And again, it's just a very large platform. I needed to make a bunch of this sooty marble here. And underneath these here, just so you know, there's hollow. There's nothing underneath these corners. Oh, how am I gonna get this down there now? I guess from the side. I didn't think that one through. Okay, so we'll put a block down, and then we can place this again. There we go. Alright, I just wanted to point out that they're hollow down there. Okay, and this one over here we're going to use in a minute. Alright? What this is going to allow us to do is we can place our own collector crystal up there, okay? Just like over in the other area that we have, where we have that white crystal that is generated in that temple, we can place either a white one or a blue one up here and then tie it to our altar to give this more power. Okay? And this structure here is called, it's in the next chapter. It's in, scroll out, I wish that was faster, right here. It is right there. The Enhanced Collector Crystal. What that means is you can just place one of these somewhere on the ground, right? But if you place it on this altar right here that's set up, and by the way, the block that is underneath this pillar here is the same one as one of these here. What are they called? They are called the Engraved Marbles. So there's an Engraved Marble here. So these four corners plus the one down there is engraved, and the other four corners here plus the top one are the chiseled one. Just, it was kind of hard to find out which one it is because you can't really see, but then I saw that there's 5 of those, and I hope it's the right one. And again, you need 8 source blocks around it. I haven't covered this yet because I don't know if I can when this is on top, but if I can cover it, I will. Okay, and the other thing we're going to need today is a ton. We'll talk about this in a second, don't worry. What I'm going to need a lot of today is liquid Starlight. I'm going to need a ton, many, many buckets, okay? And I kind of wanted to automate pulling this out, and I was ripping my hair out today. I tried all these different things. The first thing I did was I had 6 of these fluid ducts. I only have 2 left, and I made 3 servos. But these say will break its contents are extremely hot or cold. And apparently this stuff here is either really hot or really cold, because when I had it down, it worked. And then shortly after, all the pipes blew up, which sucked. Okay? So we can't use them. And I cannot use the next ducts. The runs right here, the hardened fluid ducts. Because I don't have a way of making hardened glass. You cannot make hardened glass in the smeltery anymore. And I don't want to make machines just to make these pipes. Then I tried the liquid hoppers. I cannot get them to work. Okay, I don't think the liquid hoppers can extract from these from the bottom. By the way, with the servos and the pipes, I tried it from the sides. It didn't work. So it seems that you need to extract from the bottom. Okay, so I got 3 liquid hoppers for nothing. Then I tried these guys right here, the retrieval node from Extra Utilities. And I had the tank right here with 1 against and then just the 3 pipes. Because, you know, I figured instead of using 4 of the regular transfer nodes, I'm just going to use 1 retrieval node. It didn't pull it out. It cannot interact with this from the bottom. And I also tried a faucet from Tinker's, but it also didn't work, okay? So nothing worked, and everything else I think might work. I don't have the tech for it, but we have Buildcraft in the pack, right? And so I know because I went into single player and I tested all the different pipes. Ooh, it gets dark over here when I get close to this. And I know these guys work and can extract, so that's what we're gonna set up. So I made 3 wooden 2 stone, and 1 iron. And this hole I keep falling into here, we're gonna need later. And then on top of this, we can put our tank. Okay, I have 2 tanks of this now. And you guys see that this iron pipe here. This is a pipe from Buildcraft that you can block ways to go. So it's kind of like you can set up routing. And by the way, I didn't show you guys this. I'm sure that everybody's familiar with Buildcraft, but just to make sure, this stuff right here, the pipes are very easy to make. I mean, they're the most inexpensive pipes ever. But this pipe sealant, you just need to make out of... oh, I didn't know you can use slime balls. I made out of cactus greens, so you put them in the smeltery, and then you put the cactus green in again to get this pipe sealant. And for every one of these pipes, you need 1 of the pipe sealant, okay? So, and you need to make yourself the Buildcraft Wrench. And now you guys see, right now, they're all solid on all 4 directions. So no fluid is allowed to go in here, right? But when I wrench this top one, that means the fluid is allowed to go there, and up. But from the other directions, it's never allowed to come back this way, okay? So these pipes can all just go one direction and back up. And that is just so I know that this isn't constantly going back and forth, right? It will only go into the tank. But we need to power these wooden fluid pipes. Wooden are always to extract, the same on items, okay? And I decided to go with these, well, that's the only thing I can do right now, with these... Redstone Engines, very simple to make, and they are just a passive engine that just generates very little power with a redstone signal, as you guys can see. And then here shortly, there we go. It's pulling the fluid out, and it's going into the tank. Very nice. Why these tanks? Smash. I was talking with him a lot about this. By the way, there seems to be some kind of a visual update problem. Like, these are empty now. You guys see the tank on the bottom right? But it actually does not kick in again until you put new gems. But I'm not going to put a gem right now because it's daytime, so this is not going to produce anything. But as soon as I click a gem on here, it's going to show as empty, and then it's going to fill, right? So, Smash was telling me, a buddy of mine that was helping me figuring something out. He also told me, make sure you start pumping out of this. Because apparently these gems here give you a lot more if you constantly pump out of this. He said that out of one of these here, the rock crystals, he once got like 11 buckets or something like that out of 1 crystal. But these only hold like 4 buckets maybe. So if you don't pump out of them, right, it's possible that they fill up and you waste a lot of these. And aquamarines are going to be very important today because I need a lot of this. Liquid Starlight. And I wanted to show you guys something here. Why these tanks from Mechanism? Because if you set up a key binding, it is under... Let me just show you guys so you know which one it is, because it always takes me a long time to figure out also the Mechanism item mode switch. And I set mine to V like Victor, just because it's a key I never use. And now if I hold this tank in my hand and hold Shift and press V, I switch to bucket mode on or off. And what bucket mode means is that I can just shift right click here, for example, to place a bucket. And if I right click, I pick it back up. So it's just like a bucket. To place it, it's just shift right click, right? So that's going to be really important, so I don't need to constantly use a bucket back and forth. I just have everything in this tank. Alright, and I'm going to clean this up here in a minute once we get this process started, because I'm going to have a lot of time. So, the last platform here is this one right here. And this is a celestial gateway. Now, this is super awesome. I really like this. It's in a chapter before. Let's go back here real quick. Attunement, right there. It's not too expensive. You just need one of those. So you need to make 2 of these, right? And then this is the platform you need to build. Very straightforward. Nothing special about it, okay? It shows you all the blocks you need. And I have one here, and I have one over in our Astral Sorcery area, because I kind of, I'm not a big fan of using the /home command. I really like to use things that allow me to travel fast that are in the game, right? But a lot of times I use the home, especially for recording purposes, because it makes it quicker. But check it out. When you walk into here, it gets dark. And when you stand in the middle, you see that? You have the night sky around you, right? And you see one yellow star right there. That is the other teleport in the other area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press shift. And then you guys see, and I let go again, just so you guys can see. There's a little preview of what the areas you're going to. And if you hold shift, you get this really cool animation, and we're over here. And that is the other area, which I also cleaned up a little bit and changed. And over here, by the way, I put a window in here and shaved down the outside because there was dirt here and I was not able to see the other star, right? And when I use this now, it shows us, hey, there's the platform, and bam, we're back over here. I really like this. It doesn't cost you any power. It has a really cool animation. It feels like you're entering a magical wormhole. I dig it a lot, okay? So, what are we going to get started with today? This is the collector crystal that I'm not going to make a white one. I'm going to make blue ones, right? This is the first thing I want to do today, and I played around for a couple of hours in Singapore in a test world because I did not understand how you make these crystals grow, okay? I didn't understand what purity, how do you get the purity up, how do you get the cutting up, and so on, right? And where is it? It's the other chapter down here. And the book, I'm sorry, does a terrible job explaining how you do that. It never really explains to you what cutting is for either, right? But I figured out most of the things, and then with help of Smash, I was able to figure out how to get, in my test world, a 100, 100, 100 gem. Like this right here. Size 100, purity 100%, cutting 100%. Now, let me talk about this here. The cutting, from what I have found out, is only for when you use it to make tools. The cutting does nothing if you use it as a Starlight source, okay? Cutting is if you want to make a good sword, if you want to make a good pickaxe, you want to get the cutting to 100%. Purity, I am not so sure yet what that is for. Okay, I'm gonna say it probably just makes it transmit more of the size possible, right? And the size is simply how much Starlight it's gonna give you, right? So how do we get started with this? I'm going to try to explain this whole process, and it's very easy once you understand it, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put a 1 bucket of this liquid Starlight in here. And in order for us to make this one right here, the blue ones, again, the white and the blue ones are interchangeable. The difference is that the white ones have a smaller size. They have a max size of 400. And the blue ones have a max size of 900. So, in order to get the most Starlight, I'm going to go with the blue version, right? But everything that we're doing here, you can simply do with the white one as well, if you want to use the white ones, okay? You're just going to skip the first step here. And the first step for us is to drop a rock crystal and a... come on. The rock crystal and one of these... Starlight powders into this, right? And then you guys see this blue particle effect. If you don't have the Starlight, the Stardust in there, just the rock crystal, it will only be a white particle effect. And what that would do is it will simply suck up the Starlight and give it more weight, okay? The first one here, the size, sorry. Okay, whenever it absorbs the liquid Starlight, the size goes up. That's the only thing that changes by putting it into here. Now, our goal is to get the size. Okay, now, you guys see this here? It formed a celestial crystal cluster. Do not break it yet, okay? All you will do is get the Stardust back. That is it. But now, you can let this sit here, and it will grow. And once it's fully grown, and you break it, then we will get one of these right here, a celestial crystal. I also forgot to mention that it does not matter what size of these crystals you drop into here. When this is now turned into this and it's growing, it completely re-rolls all 3 stats. So you could put in a perfect crystal, 400, 100, 100, with one of those Starlight Dusts, and then it will give you back a random number for all 3. You can put in only a size 25, and when it's grown, you can get a size 400. Okay, it's completely random. All 3 stats are being re-rolled. Alright, but in order to speed this up, and instead of just letting it sit here like this, what we can also do is we can tie this collector crystal. So I right-clicked it, and now I'm right-clicking it here, and you see it's been connected, and now we see the beam coming down there. And that greatly increases, it already is 1 size up now. It greatly increases the speed that this will grow. It's only going to take a couple of minutes for this to be fully grown. Without linking it to a crystal, I haven't tried it, but I'm going to say it's probably going to take a super long time. Alright, but while we wait for this, I wanted to show you guys one thing that I found really cool here that I stumbled across and I said I want to try this out. And that is, I made one of these lenses. And the lenses, what they do is, let's put it right there. It's simply a routing mechanism for these beams right here, okay? So what I can do here is I can, for example, have it, I right-click it, no, shift, oops, wrong rod here. I right-click it, and I have it aim at this wall right there, okay? So now it's aiming at this wall, because I want their beam to come across this way. And when I right-click this guy, what just happened? Okay, maybe I need to unset it here. So right-click this here to here, and we're gonna see a beam coming over there, and it simply shoots it into the wall here, right? Oh man, I forgot something. I need to get this real quick before we continue. Otherwise, I cannot show you what I want to do with this stuff. And that is a... Oh, little lag spike here. Come on. There we go. I'm gonna get me some wood from right there. Let's go with 30. That's fine. And do I have any cobble on here as well? Yes. Okay, I'm just gonna get one to show you guys. And I'm also gonna get 1 iron right there. And that should be good enough. Okay. So, what this does is, besides, you know, routing the Starlight around, we can also set up different lenses to clamp onto them, okay? And they're all right here. There's all these different lenses you can make, and I made this ignition lens. There's also a break lens, which means everything that you put in front of it will break. And I believe it has a strength like an iron pickaxe, okay? It does break obsidian, as far as I know. It's just gonna take a long time. But anything that you cannot break with a iron pickaxe, I believe you will just lose, if I'm not mistaken. This one right here is a damage, anything that goes in front of it, so you could use this for a mob farm. The growth is, you can set up a really insane farm, okay? You can put like a piece of wheat in front of it, and it will just grow it super fast if you use the growth lens. Then we have the regeneration. You get regeneration if you stand in the beam. Push just pushes you around. So again, you could maybe use this for a mob farm. But like I said, I found this one to be the most interesting, the ignition. So this is right here, and all you do is right-click it there. Now, I want to make sure I don't step in front of this. I don't have water on me. No. Because I will be put on fire. So I don't want to do that, okay? But now check it out what it does. We're going to take this cobblestone and just drop it there. Boom. It instantly... Ooh. It smelted it twice into hardened stone. Interesting. Okay, let's take the iron. And it turned it into an iron ingot. Now, not really good because I'm not doubling it, right? What I am the most interested in is wood to make charcoal. But you're not going to get charcoal because it will turn it into... if I'm quick enough and stand there, I might be able to suck them up. I don't want to get too close. All right. And it doesn't do the whole stack at once, but it doesn't cost you anything. How cool is this to make fuel? Right? So I'm definitely going to use this a lot. And I'm a little bit afraid of getting close to the... Okay. It turns it also into graphite ingot. If you leave the charcoal in there, right? It turns it into a graphite ingot, which I think is from extreme reactors or nuclear craft. But I found out that we can also use this as fuel. 1600 burn time, just like charcoal... 1600 burn time. Okay. It says smelt 8 items. Does this also say smelt 8 items? Yes. So you're not losing anything. You can still use this as fuel. So I'm definitely going to make use of this. Instead of putting it into a furnace, I'm just going to probably set up some kind of an automation or whatever here to do this. Now for the time being, I'm just taking the lens out and hanging on the wall. So if I step into here, I'm not taking any damage. Okay. So this thing is already fully grown. I decided to jump over into my test world after I was done recording most of the rest of the episode because I did not explain it properly. I pretty much gave you guys misinformation, and I don't like that. And I figured out a few things on the go, even though I already went through all this here. You guys see, I made a lot of these crystals, and I even ended up with a perfect one. So I've done this once before, already trying to learn this, right? But I learned more while I was recording the clips And I believe now I have a pretty good understanding. So instead of showing you guys those clips, I thought I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown how to grow a perfect one like this in a much shorter version that is not as confusing. So we'll start with these guys right here, these celestial crystal clusters, okay? I want you guys to see that I used a perfect one to grow that, okay? That's the one you get from JEI if you cheat it in. Because it does not matter what numbers they have when you plant it, together with the stardust right there, right? Once they are grown, or I'm guessing when you break them actually, they're getting completely re-rolled stats. So that's what I wanted to show you guys here with D6. But before we do that, I wanted to show you guys real quick the 5 different growth stages. You guys see this one here is really massive. I don't have another word for it. I was trying to see, because if you look down on a hole like this, a lot of times these two look somewhat similar if you look from above, right? There's only subtle differences, but you can tell that this one is just much bigger, okay? So just rather wait a little bit longer before harvesting, because if you harvest it in this stage, you guys see you only get back one of the dusts, and here we actually get a celestial crystal. And I don't care about these right here. I'm just going to break them because they're going to keep growing otherwise, because I don't know what this one I just broke actually was grown with. So why is it important? In my single player, in my extra survival world, I grew one at a time, okay? And I'll show you guys why. Our goal is to get, like I said, the 900, 100, 100. And right here, you guys see, this one gave us a 191, 58, 66. And I'm gonna break the other ones real quick, just so you guys can see that there's huge differences between these. 690, 80, 73. Let's do the other ones, all of them real quick. And there we go. And you guys also see sometimes you get 1 or 2 of these. So now we have all 6. All 6 were grown with the same, again, with the same rock crystal right here. And all I am looking for is purity. That is all I care. I don't care about the size or the cutting, guys. Purity is the most important. 61, 64, 40, 94, 80, and 58. So in my survivor world, the first one that we broke had a purity of 44. And I put that into this right here. And then I grew it up to 900 size, okay? Because when you grow it up to 900 size, randomly afterwards, you have to put it back into the liquid starlight a couple of times. It will split into 2 crystals, okay? And when the split happens, the purity goes up. It has a chance that on one of the 2, the purity will go up. Both of them will at least stay with the purity they had. So let's say we take this 80% purity here, right? We get the size up to 900 by keep dropping it into the liquid starlight. And then it splits. Then I have a possibility to get back 2 with purity 80. Or I get 1 with purity 80, 1 with purity 83. Something like that. In our survival world, the 44% I got back the first time with a 44 and a 47. The second time it split, it gave me back 2 47s. Okay? And it took me about 30 buckets of this stuff to do it, to grow it up and split it every time, right? Well, if you start with a much higher one, like this 94%, that's what I'm going to use for our example. I'm going to put all the other ones away. We don't need them anymore. You guys see I have a lot with purity 100 in here because of all the testing I did. So, when you start with a higher purity, it's much faster to just grow these here, right? It takes you 1 rock crystal and 1 stardust. And you just keep making them until you get one with at least 90% purity, I recommend. I got lucky here with 94%, okay? So, and now we toss this in here. And now our goal is to get the size up to 900. And then it turns yellow. It cannot grow anymore. And then we keep tossing it in here until it splits into 2 shards. And then I'll show you guys what happens. Alright, we have reached a big stage now. This is the one, it was over here, but I moved it over here into more open area. This is the one that we did together just now. That's the one that had a size of, I think, 54 and a purity of 94. And I grew that up to 900 size, and then kept putting in the liquid Starlight, and then now it eventually split, okay? So now when we take them out, you guys see this one still has purity 94, and this one has purity 100. So you guys see it grew 6%. This is what you're after right here, purity of 100%. And now what would you do is you would grow this back to a size of 900, okay? And split it up again. And then one of them with purity 100 you put into a safe place. And the other one you grow up again to size 900. And then that one is the one that we're going to use for our single player world, or a similar one, to actually use as an astral light source, okay? So this one right here is the one that I would now toss back in here and keep growing back to 900, so I split. So this is what you're after, okay? And I'll put this here. I already had one with purity 100% and another one here. How much is this one now? Let's see. 900. So this is what you're looking for right now at this stage right here, okay? So this is what I would grow this one up for, and then you put it in again, so hopefully to split, and then you have 2 purity 100s. And this one over here I did as well. Again, both of them purity 100. But now I want to show you guys something of what you would do when you get one with a high size, 100% purity, and you want to get the cutting up, okay? The cutting is for tools and weapons. That's the only time. I just went through the entire book again, by the way. And nowhere in the book did I see anything about what the stats actually mean. What the size means, what the purity means, and what the cutting means. I don't know if I read everything. I cannot find any hints to what it does, so it's kind of sad. But anyway, so let's check this again. This is size 226 and cutting 33%, okay? You put it on the grindstone and you hit it once. Shift right click with an empty hand to take it out. And now we got the cutting up to 37%. Size went down 5, right? And you keep doing this. You probably want to start with one that has a higher size, okay? But it should be fine, because as long as the size still has a number, it shouldn't matter. Let's do 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Let's see how far up it is now. So now we're at cutting 60%, size 171. Again, you want to keep doing this until you get a size of 100%. Okay? Couple more. Let's do this real quick. I just want to make sure I don't run out of size, because then it will disappear. 90%, we still have a little bit to spare. Alright, and 100%, size of 83. And guess what? Now you take this one and put it in here and grow it back up to 100%. Now this one, the cutting, you pretty much want to do after this split right here, right? Let's see how far this one went up again. 138. So this is the one that's the one we did, and we got to 100% after the split. This guy still needs a little bit of time and so on. But you guys get it, right? So this one now has 100% cutting and 100% purity. And now you just grow it up to 900 size. So then you have a perfect one, which looks like it's somewhere in here, right there. And this is the one that I want to make 2 of in order to make our crystal sword. I would like to make a... Oh, it just keeps giving it to me because I'm in cheat mode. Right there. You need 2 of them plus a stick. And again, I'm not sure how much better it gets, but I do believe that it has a lot to do with the cutting for swords and purity and size, just how long it lasts, I think. So I definitely want to get 2 of these for the sword that I'm going to work on until next episode. And one right now that I'm working on in the survival, this stage right here. So I can split it up and get it to 900, 100%, and whatever the cutting is. I don't care. And that's the one we're going to use. Alright, let's go through this one more time, guys, because I know this can be very confusing. But the order you want to do it is you want to grow a cluster until you harvest a crystal with at least 90% purity, just to make this whole process over here faster, right? So you don't need to split it so many times to get the purity up. The crystals can only be improved on Astro Sorcery Marble. I had that in our survival world. You guys saw the glass hole that I made there. And it never sucked up any of the liquid. I didn't get these blue particles either. Until I changed the glass on the bottom to marble. And then it worked. So it does not work on glass for sure. Now you grow the crystal in Liquid Starlight until 900. After it reaches 900, it has a random chance to split into 2. What I mean by that, it's not on the first bucket. It can be on 1 bucket. It can be up as many 7 buckets. Until it finally splits, right? It's just random. When it splits, the size and the cutting will be completely randomized again, okay? You can have a cutting of 80, and after the split, you have 20 and 90. You don't know. It's completely re-rolled. But the purity has a chance to improve on split. It never decreases. So let's say you split a 50% purity, you will guaranteed get 250% purity. Never lower. Most of the times, one is 50, and the other one is higher up. Just like you guys saw on the one we just did. And you keep repeating this until you have a crystal with 900 size and 100 purity. And the cutting percentage is only for crafting tools or weapons, as far as I know. If you guys know of anything else, please let me know down in the comments, because I just don't know what the cutting is really for definitive, okay? Okay, the moon is coming up finally. It's been a couple hours for me in real life until I'm at this point where I'm at now. Oh yeah, I can finally put more of these. I don't like to put them during the day because you barely get anything out of it. And this is actually the second piece here. The one that the last time he had finally split. And I grew the first one up to 900 size. There it is. And this one here I've been already babysitting as well. Up to 622 already. And I'm just gonna place it here so it doesn't despawn or something. I don't trust it. Supposedly it's excluded from that, but who knows, right? So, is this still not enough starlight to make this? Huh. Okay. I was hoping that this is gonna be enough here. Maybe we'll have to wait all the way. It says right here the recipe. I think I have everything that you need for it. In the middle here is this crystal? Oh boy. Come on, don't let me down. It did say here. Oh my god, it takes an No, that's the iridescent altar. Oh my god, that just scared me. Right here. No. I actually don't think there's a recipe in here for that. Nope, there's no recipe. You have to use... Is it in here? That's for that one. What? What? What is going on? Guys, it says 1 collector crystal. So I gotta be able to craft it in this chapter. Okay. What in the world is happening here? Take it out, put it back in. Okay, am I missing the blinking ones, illumination powder, stardust, and this in the middle? And I thought this is just interchangeable because when you click on here, it shows in the celestial altar. That's the one that we have. Am I not seeing something very obvious? Oh, it says attuned celestial crystal. I need to attune myself to one. Okay, we can do that. That's okay. That's not too hard. I think I have a bunch of these here. Okay, so check it out, guys. I did not know about this. So we're going to take out one of these constellations here. I'm going to just take Armara. Okay, it doesn't really matter, I hope. And we're going to put this in our offhand. And you guys see here now there's purple sparklies coming up on this Attunement Altar. And if this constellation needs to be in the sky, it's right there. So during certain moon phases, this is not going to be possible. But luckily we have the correct night. And maybe... What? Right there. Check it out. Let me go up high so you guys can see this better. See? Now it made this constellation. And now this altar is attuned to that. Now I can stand myself in it, but I don't want to do that right now because I want to keep that for another episode. And I think I can throw this one. Yes. Right there. And now it's attuning this crystal to Amar. Okay. I need to take this off there. Put it back in here real quick. Okay, hopefully the night... Okay, it's midnight, so I should have enough starlight left to finish it. I had no idea this needs to be attuned to something. Really cool animation. The animations are amazing in this. Whoa, okay, I stepped on it. So yeah, this is how you get attuned. I did not plan on doing this. I wanted to keep this. But we're gonna wait it out while I'm standing on it already, and then I can show you guys real quick what that actually does. We're gonna get more into attunements in an upcoming episodes because it's a really cool mechanic. Astro Sorcery, where you become very strong, and I want to use that to go into a roguelike dungeon, right? No, I'm just gonna... I don't know how long... Okay, so there's a beam now. This is so cool. Such a unique way of doing something in Minecraft here. Very well done. Alright, cool. So, let's finish this first. So then I show you guys what this means, that I'm attuned now. Yes, okay. Alright, at least we're getting it done. There we go. And at the recipe here... Let's just see what the altar actually does. It just pulls out of the four corners. And I guess this just keeps going. By the way, these sparks back here... we've seen before, they're actually entities. When you get attacked or something, they actually help you fight. You can destroy them. I didn't hit it. It just got damaged by itself. Alright, good. So, and now I'm gonna wait out until actually daytime because I want to show you guys how powerful this crystal is gonna be. And does it? It shows 900 size. Collect Starlight from Armara. Okay. But I think Armara is a very dominant constellation anyway. I think it's pretty much in the night sky every day. Almost every day. In case you want to know exactly how to find out, it's when you click on here. It shows you through all these cycles. It's just on no moon, new moon, and half moon. It's not there, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know what all this... I know this is a full moon. And... this is possibly an eclipse. I think that's what that means. That's an eclipse right there, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, you guys also see I have perks now. There's a new tab over here. And when I click on that, that is because I am now attuned to Amara. And I am level 1, and there's like an experience bar. And these are the things that we're gonna get. Now, I don't know yet where this starts. If it starts here, and then goes up this way, or it starts here, goes up that way, I am not sure. But check it out. This is a defensive constellation. This is a defensive attunement. Okay, and Amara is now out of the view, so this stopped over here. You guys see that? Which is okay. But anyway, so this is a defensive constellation. And so we can get less damage from elemental damage, less damage from falling, reduces overall damage taken, grants a chance to dodge incoming damage, can save you from death in dire situations, and resistances and heal when wearing less than 3 armor pieces. Ah, okay. I'm not sure. So, I guess 2 pieces? Like that? We would then have more armor. But like I said, we'll go more into that in a later date. So I'm going to wait until right around noon, just before noon. And I want to show you guys that. And I'm going to take these off as well and put them right here. So we're not getting anything extra from any other source. You guys see it's already falling down quite a bit. I guess, yeah, I'm going to wait until it's a couple hours here in game. All right, it is approaching, I'm going to say like 10 a.m. or something like that. Right, that is about it. And the altar is almost empty. Now first, we're going to just place it right here. Okay, just on the ground. And nothing is happening right now because I need to link this. So we're going to go ahead and link that to the altar. What? Wait a second. Is this really not doing anything? This is not what I expected. I don't understand the whole... Is there any one of these that is not aligned to something? These are all things that I have not unlocked yet, the pages. So you need to attune one of these, and then it only works when that is actually viewable? That does not help me during the day. Okay, give me that back. Maybe it will help us if I put it up here. Oh, actually, sorry. I forgot. I read that it needs to be one above. Do I have any blocks on me? Let's use you. Right there. And there we go. Alright, good. And now we link this puppy to that. Now this whole setup here, you see how it's pulling up power from the fluid, the liquid Starlight? It does not use it up, by the way. It just needs to be there. And it's still not going up. Are you kidding me? And now it's full, guys. All I did is I broke it and placed it back down. Now I want to check this again. Give me that and just place it here. Because I wanted to show you guys why this altar setup or this setup over here is really good to have. Let's see if it works now. Okay, so it did. So all I needed to do is break the altar and place it. So, okay. I'm glad it does. So you guys see, it goes to, what is that? Just under 4 of the inventory spots. But when we place it up here, and link it again, it's full. So at noon, without these two things over here, I'm getting full Starlight from this setup right here. Which is really cool, because now I don't need to wait for night to do any more, you know, crafting or whatever else I need to do here. And of course, with the thingamabobs here, the lenses, I could also send this to other places, right? There is this one right here, the prism lens, where it splits up into multiple beams. So I could have one beam come here, one beam, I don't know where else we're going to need it, maybe over there with the ritual, or have it go on to another crystal cluster if I want to craft another one, and so on. But that is it, guys. I know it was a really long episode. I'm really enjoying this mod. I know it's probably not the best mod to record. I'm talking to a few people. I get it. It's probably not that exciting to watch. Some people are gonna enjoy it a lot, and some people are like, yeah, I'm not digging this. But that's just a taste, okay? I have a lot of fun with figuring these things out and getting these utility things here, especially now that we have that these perks and so on, because we can also attune weapons and tools and things. And then we haven't even touched the rituals yet, okay? The rituals are pretty much in this area here, in an area effect, but then there is a way that we can move these rituals that we can set up here to distant locations. Okay, so up here it doesn't make much sense to have the ritual altar, because you're not going to, you know, grow wheat up here or make a mob farm or something, but we can link it to go to other places. So, anyways, I'm having a lot of fun. All tips and tricks are much appreciated down in the comments if you have any. I'm still don't know probably the half of this mod, especially when it comes to attunements and then the enchanting system and the brewing and so on later, which I'm excited for. Now, next episode, we might start with something here, just making a weapon and then take it down into a roguelike dungeon, because I'd like to level up these perks a little bit and maybe play around with this, but also possibly get started with something else, okay? Today pretty much was the last episode that was focused on Astro Sorcery. From here on out, we're just going to do bits and pieces, all right? I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.